call Peter Fairchild, and then Representative John Burt will follow Mr. Fairchild. Welcome to House Education, Mr. Fairchild.
Thank you, Representative. I appreciate the opportunity to testify and for you to hear the testimony. I'm here to really talk about a sense of balance and fairness in your deliberations, and make sure you understand you have the absolute right to debate and pass these types of laws. I'm concerned that there seems to be confusion or misunderstanding about the Second Amendment rights and gun rights. As was noted, the original Constitution was a little confusing about militias and so on. The Second Amendment rights that we talk about today were defined by the Supreme Court in 2008. Justice Scalia, Anton Scalia, wrote the majority opinion. Unfortunately, he's not here, but John Roberts was part of the majority. And I want to read what Justice Scalia, it won't be that long because it wasn't a long decision. These are his words that define Second Amendment rights as we talk about them today. These, in my understanding, are the law of the land. Paragraph 1, the Second Amendment protects an individual right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia. So we cleared that up. And to use that arm for traditionally lawful purposes, such as self-defense within the home. His second paragraph, like most rights, the Second Amendment right is not unlimited. It is not a right to keep and carry any weapon whatsoever, in any manner whatsoever, and for whatever purpose. This is, again, the Supreme Court. For example, concealed weapons prohibitions have been upheld under the Second Amendment or state analogs. The court opinion should not be taken to cast doubt on long-standing prohibitions on the possession of firearms and by felons who are mentally ill, or, and this is important, or laws forbidding the carrying of firearms in sensitive places such as schools or government buildings. The government buildings was a different bill, but he certainly made it clear that prohibiting guns in schools is protected by the Second Amendment. Then there's a third paragraph which is about gun locks, but I won't read that. That's the third paragraph for me. I'm not a lawyer, I'm a gun owner, I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, I voted in the state of New Hampshire, a college graduate, I think I'm reasonably intelligent. I read Justice Scalia's decision to mean that gun ownership is a constitutional right under the federal Constitution, and that laws restricting guns are also a constitutional right. It's amazing to me why we only hear gun rights people talk about the first paragraph and don't refer to the second paragraph that makes it clear that gun restrictions are covered by the Constitution. It's confounding to me. But what I'm here today is that I believe it's clear both rights and restrictions are constitutional. You have every right to discuss and consider these laws. Now, I personally urge you to vote yes on both of them, but don't let anybody intimidate or make you think that you do not have the right to consider these types of restrictions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fairchild. Are there questions of the presenter? Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'd like to
Croc TV.